Hey guys, today's just going to be an open discussion. I have a couple questions to kind of lead the conversation, but I really just want to help meet you guys where you're at today. You know, everyone kind of has different things they're going through. Chris, what's up, brother? Thanks for joining us.
Hey,
So I'm going to pull up this stock, and there's 5 or 6 questions we're going to go through. I'll share them, and then we'll kind of just go around the room, and then definitely we'll take some feedback from everyone. If anybody can help somebody else out with whatever they're going through, then that'll be great. So first question, guys, for you to think about: what part of your business feels heavier than it should right now? Where are you feeling friction? Is it time? Is it clients? Is it follow-up? Is it administrative? Is it your mindset? Is it your lead flow? What part of your business feels heavier than it should? Here's another question. If you had to double your production next year, what would break first? What system, habit, or bottleneck would fail if you all of a sudden added double the production that you're doing? Right. So these are good things to think about. What are you currently doing that no longer serves your level of production? Right. If you're looking to raise your level of production, is there anything you're doing right now that doesn't serve that? We can discuss that. Where are you playing small because it feels safe? Your price point, your marketing, your recruiting, asking for referrals, hiring somebody. Where do you feel like you're playing small because it feels safe? What skill, if you sharpened it over the next 90 days, would have the biggest impact on your income? Is it negotiations? Is it converting more listings? Is it following up more? Is it leadership? Is it marketing? And the last one, what is one uncomfortable move you need to make this quarter to level up? So we may not get through all of these, but I think they're all great questions. And I know when I was reading these, there's probably 1 or 2 that you felt like I was talking to you, right? So those 1 or 2 where you felt like I was talking to you, those are the ones we're going to talk about, right? And so we'll kind of go around the room. Who would like to go first? Who wants to volunteer and tackle one of these? Chris, talk to me, bro. Which question stood out to you? Which question felt like I was talking to you?
Yeah, I mean, all of them, to be honest. But you know, the first one, I think for me currently, as I am right now, friction. There's definitely some friction right now that I feel like, you know, I could definitely be doing much better than what I am right now. And that's going to be with my follow-up. Usually my follow-up game is pretty strong. But I've got a lot of things going on right now, personal, plus, you know, I did have some clients that I'm working with right now that took up a lot of time. So I didn't allocate enough time to do the follow-up with all of the clients that I'm currently, you know, following up with. The ones that I have on like a drip campaign, I'm not following up with the weekly calls that I was doing with them. And then I do have some fellow teammates that have sent me some stuff that I need to pick up too. I think Shri just sent me one the other day for one in Hollister, and I need to follow up with them as well. So right now, follow up for sure.
Okay. Good, man. I appreciate you volunteering and going first. This is the space where we can talk about this, right? And hopefully help each other out. So who feels like they can give Chris some advice on how to just step up in his follow-up? Maybe how do you attack your follow-up? Is there anything that's working for you that helps keep you on track?
I can go ahead.
Go ahead, Shri.
Chris, I know you're really good, brother. Like I hear a few of your calls. You're really natural. That's what I see whenever I hear your 2 calls. And I spoke to one of the clients whom we both collabed, and they were like very happy the way you showed the properties and all. I think it's just holding yourself accountable because you got the skill and everything. I think you have to block your calendar and you have to make those calls, because however good you are, if you are not making connection with them, you're not going to move them to the next step. That's the thing, right? So that's what I saw in you, like the way you immediately jump on the leads and you are like ready to show them the homes. That's amazing. Actually, thank you for that. But if you don't do this follow-up game, whatever that first interaction, the impression, whatever you created in them, that won't last for long if you don't do that follow-up. Try to just put a follow-up in that lead wherever you are, because now follow-up boss is there in your phone. If you are chatting with your friends, if you are with your family, anyways, you get a notification, right? You need to do that follow-up call. Just step out for a minute and just call them and see like where do they stand at, whether they need to see any other properties or something like that. I think once you start doing that once or twice, I think that would become a habit. That's what helped with me. Initially, I used to just put it in the follow-up session, and I never used to put it in notify, right? Now what I do is notify me before 10 minutes. So wherever I am in, I used to jump out and make that call, because otherwise we don't have pipeline. If you don't do that follow-up calls, you don't have your pipeline. That's what helps with me. I think if you do that, you're gonna rock, I feel.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think that would definitely help, is setting some notifications, maybe. As soon as I get that lead or I talk to them the first time, maybe set like 5 or 6 tasks so that it just reminds me every couple of days to get in touch with them.
Yes. And when you call them back and when you clearly specify that, hey, you mentioned that you would be free this week, this way, that's why I put it in my calendar, I'm calling you back. They actually appreciate that you're really very serious in this business. You're not just randomly calling and checking about them.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
I like what you said, Shri. That's a good point. Is when you tell someone, I will call you back on this, and then you call them and say, hey, I told you I would call you back this day, so I'm calling you. That does show that you take your business seriously. That does show that you value the relationship. So I like that you said that. And so, Shri, just to clarify, are you, when you have to do a follow-up, are you creating a task and then putting a notification, or how do you actually do it?
In the follow-up boss, what I do is I go to on a lead, and on the tasks, I put a follow-up, and below I put the date and time, right? That's what I do. Create a task.
Okay. So let me see. So let me look at this. I'm going to share our screen real quick, because I think this is good, just to make sure we're all know you can utilize this. So this is a fake lead, right? Just for testing. So you go in here, and then you have this little task right here, right? So you can click. So this little lightning bolt, I think, is a fast way of just setting up a follow-up.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So you can say, okay, follow up in 2 weeks, put that, and it just creates a task. Or you can create the plus button and then have some sort of callback. And then where are you putting a notification?
I do it somewhere. I think might be in the appointments, I think then. Sorry, I was mistaken.
I think when you do a task, it automatically sends a notification.
Notification. It does to me every time you have a call in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think it does.
Okay, so that might happen automatically, right? So just, instead of just saying, I need to follow up, setting something on your calendar, and then when you come in, you can just manage your task list every single day, right? These are not all my tasks, it's just everyone's, but you can now just work off your task list for that day. And that's a quick little way of just utilizing the system that we already have in front of us to now manage our tasks, right? And right, whatever, all the systems work, guys. That's what we've got to realize, right? Whatever system you create for yourself, it works as long as you use it. So if you use that task feature and you commit to that, and every day you check that, that's a system you're creating, right? To help things not slip through the cracks. Can anybody else offer any other advice to Chris on just how to be more diligent with his follow-up? David, I see you on here, brother. How you doing?
Good. What's going on, man? How you guys are doing?
Good, bro. So you jump in, man. Join us. We're masterminding on a few just different things. Anybody else have something that they can offer, Chris?
It's my same problem, so I don't know if I have a whole lot to offer.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Patrick.
I just think I'm on the same boat, Chris, and with John as well. Like, hey, following up. Yesterday, I called a client and they told me, hey, I'm busy working right now. Call me within 5:30 to 6 p.m. And I called, no answer. So I think it's getting more straightforward with like, okay, well, if you're expecting me to call you at this time, what other alternatives or routes can I do to reach out to you? to really push things forward. I think with my clients as of right now, it's more so them finding the right property, and that's like my biggest hurdle as of right now in order to put another offer. I mean, Chris and I are also working on another client with a Hollister interest, and that's, I don't know where it's going, because she's asking for XYZ in all her dreams, but it's like, okay, you need to increase your price point to be more realistic.
Got it. Yeah. So, I mean, as you guys see, guys, follow up is a common theme, right? It's number one is we can't dance around it, right? I think we got to realize that we're in a business where there's a lot of moving parts, right? You have to manage servicing your clients who are actually in contract or looking at homes or whatever. And then you also have to manage generating new leads and following up with those leads to try to convert them, right? So you're always wearing two hats. You're wearing the kind of create more business hat, and then you're wearing the servicing hat, right? So one of my coaches back in the day, he said some analogy where you're like, I forgot how he said it, but it was like you're the maker and like the baker or something like that. But basically what it was is the AM, he reserved it for follow up and trying to create new opportunities. And then the PM, he reserved it for servicing your existing clients, right? And so I thought that made a lot of sense. It's just like, hey, anything up until 12 o'clock should be all around lead generation, lead follow up, trying to convert people to appointments, trying to move people forward. And then anything after 12 o'clock should be all about servicing my existing clients, checking emails, going on showings, going on appointments, stuff like that. And so if you design your business that way, where you just split up your day into wearing two different roles, I think that sometimes can help. The other thing, guys, is that we got to remember the fortune is in the follow-up. So if you don't make it a priority to follow up, your business is ultimately going to suffer.
Yeah.
And it's like, going to the gym, like in the beginning, if you're trying to start the workout, like John, I see you, bro, you're like you're getting back to exercising and stuff like that. I'm sure you don't want to go out there every single day, right?
No.
But you probably, there's a big enough reason why you want to go out there and do that, right?
Right.
Because when the reason is big enough, then you'll do what you got to do to get what you want, right? And so what I would challenge you guys to do is ask yourself, do I have a big enough reason to freaking get uncomfortable and block out time and make these calls and do all these things, even though sometimes it sucks, sometimes it's not the fun part, right? And so do you guys all have a big enough reason, right? Is there a big enough reason, whether it's a goal, whether it's the people you support, anything like that? Is there a big enough reason that you have that you're dangling in front of you? Like I'll give you an example, guys. Like I use my phone as a reminder, my picture on my wall, right? So you guys can see my picture right now.
Mm-hmm.
I constantly swap out this photo because my phone is always in my hands. I always look at my phone. I'm always going to see whatever is on there. And so recently this picture popped up and it was my kids when they were little, and so I swapped that and I put that there. So now every time like I don't feel like doing something, I open my phone, I look at my kids and I'm like, I got to go fucking do it, right? Now, for you, that could be a different photo. Maybe it's your significant other. Maybe it's that vacation or something. Maybe it's that thing you're trying to accomplish at the end of the year. Maybe it's that new house you're trying to buy or that Rolex watch or a stack of money. I don't know what that is. It's different for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you need those reminders and you have to put a meaning to that because that'll push you to get out there and get uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And so all you guys are skilled, guys. You guys wouldn't be in this group. You guys wouldn't be doing what you're doing if you weren't skilled. So skill is no longer the issue for a lot of us, right? It's the will. Are we willing to do what it takes, right? So I don't know. I know I'm kind of going big picture, more perspective, but I hope you guys can find something in that. But great job, Chris, on bringing that up, man. I think we all take away from it. All right, let's go to a couple other questions, guys. So who would like to go next? What question on this list stood out to you, or you felt like it was speaking to you? Is there a part of your business that feels heavier than it should right now? If you had to double your production, what would break first? What are you currently doing that no longer serves your level of production? Where are you playing small because it feels safe? This is a powerful one right here. What skill, if you sharpened it over the next 90 days, would have the biggest impact on your income? Or what is one uncomfortable move you need to make this quarter to really level up? So besides Chris, who would like to go next? What question stands out to you? Feels like it's speaking to you. John, talk to me, bro.
Number 5. A follow-up discipline, but I mean, we've already talked about that. Really, for me, marketing. It's something I keep talking about. And I keep saying I'm going to do stuff, and I, you know, I want it to be right, and I keep thinking about what you said. You just got to put it out there, and it'll eventually get better. But I'm still hesitant on getting over that hump, and I need to post something by Tuesday because that was one of the things in the pod that I did. So I will be posting something, but that's something I need to feel more comfortable with so I can do it more.
Okay. So let's pick that apart. What is it about marketing yourself that makes you uncomfortable?
I don't like the way I sound on video. Yeah, we all hear our own voice differently in our head when we speak because of just the way things are. But when I hear myself on video, I'm like, do I really sound like that? And apparently, yeah, obviously I do, but I'm just not that comfortable with it. And it's something, I'm going through this whole thing right now. I'm not just doing the daily walk and the working out just to get. I'm trying to switch my mindset and, like you said, doing the shit you don't want to do. And this is one of the things. And it's like, I'm taking a few steps with the exercise, and now I got to do the marketing and the follow up. I just got to keep building on these things it's just hard.
Yeah. Well, you're not alone. First of all, I mean, anybody who's put themselves out there on video or anything, it does not like how they look, right?
Yeah.
And so what I would say is, whatever you record, don't look at it, bro. Just post it and don't look at it, because we're our own worst critic.
Yeah.
As I'm speaking to you, I'm going through some of my old videos right now because I don't know if some of you guys have seen this. Has any of you guys seen some of my first videos that I put out on YouTube?
Yeah. You were like 12, weren't you?
Yeah, bro. I was somewhere around 12 or something. But I want to show you, because when I watch it, it's fucking cringy, right? But it was a start, right? Where's this video? Oh my god, dude, I don't even want to play this for you guys, but I'm going to. Okay. Let's see.
Looking sharp with a tie and everything. Look at that.
Today we'll be discussing the current real estate market in Santa Clara County.
10 years ago?
10 years ago, right? I was doing YouTube, right? We'll just play like a couple seconds. Hi, this is Enrique Medellin with PRG Real Estate here in San Jose. Welcome to my video blog. Today we will be discussing the current real estate market here in Santa Clara County. But before we begin, I'd like to draw your attention to 2 links in my video blog. First, if you're looking to sell your home, please click the free home value report link below. Or if you're looking to buy a home, please click the search all homes for sale link, and it'll give you the most up-to-date information on homes for sale in your area. Okay, I'm gonna stop there, guys, because I'm getting nauseous watching that.
Enrique, but see, you even had guts to do it back then.
Bro, but do you know how many takes that took?
No. How many did you do to get that?
That was about like 20 takes, bro.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
And you can tell, obviously, I was a lot younger. I look a lot younger. I was wearing a suit because I thought back then you had to wear a suit if you were a top producer. And, now we're in a day where like people don't care about that, right? I was putting on my corporate voice, my realtor, polite, proper voice, right? Because I wasn't being myself, Mm-hmm. And so I share that with you guys because, that was my first like start into trying to put out content. And here I am 10 years later, probably thousands of videos and content that I put out now. And now I just talk. It don't take me 10 takes. It takes me one take now, because I am who I am. This is what you get. If I stutter, if I mess up or whatever, I don't care. I can edit some of that out if I need to, but I'm just going to speak from here, from the heart, and give you my knowledge, my perspective, right? And I'm going to attract the people who resonate with me, and I'm going to repel the people who don't resonate with me. And that's okay, because I'm not for everyone. I'm for the people who want this vibe, the Enrique vibe. And so I'm telling you that, John, because you bring a lot to the table, bro. Like you're John, bro. Like, you're super cool, man. You're an interesting guy. Like, but you got to believe in yourself, right? And you got to honor yourself more, bro, and love yourself. And you got to have, you got to tell yourself, I bring shit to the table, right? Whether it's my personality, my knowledge, my experience. You've been doing this for 20 years, bro. More than most people. You know what I mean? You have a big track record. And so you got to own that shit, bro. Right? Like, own that. Because if you don't own it, man, you're cutting yourself short, right? You're missing out on opportunity. And so I think you need to step into the how do I say this? Into the, I don't give a shit. I'm John. This is who I am. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to come from a place of trying to help people, trying to inspire people, trying to, make people laugh and share my journey. You know what I mean? And I think you got to grow the cojones, bro, and just put yourself out there, man. Like, that's the only way to do it. There's no easier way to do it.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. We'll see.
Yeah. So I challenge you.
Okay.
I challenge you, bro. I challenge you in front of your peers right here to put yourself out there, dude, and just be you. That's it. Don't be anybody else. Just be John. That's it. Right? Because John is dope, bro.
Like you said, it's a lot of that I put on my real estate voice, and it's not who I am. And I think, and you're right. You're not gonna appeal to everyone, but you know what? You don't want to appeal to everyone. There's people I probably don't want to work with.
Exactly.
I mean, unless they're spending $50 million on a house, and I'll fucking suck it up.
You'll tolerate them.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But no, you're right though. You're right. Okay. Thank you.
But the moment that you just say, F it, I'm just going to be me, it's like a weight is lifted off your shoulders, bro. You know what I mean? Obviously, like, don't post shit that's going to like politics. Those are one thing you should talk about, is politics or religion, right?
Right.
You do it like in a funny way, so it's more like cracking a joke at things, which I think that's fine, but you're going to eliminate 50% of the people by talking about that. That's just, to me, that's something you shouldn't do. But just be you, bro. Just talk the way you talk, with your quirks and all your antics and all that, man. Just be yourself. Right. Chris, what do you got, bro?
So I'm going to give you the best exercise you can do for this. It's something that I did a long time ago, because I have videos just like Enrique from probably like 9 years ago that are stuck somewhere on my Facebook that I don't even use anymore. But the best thing you could do to get comfortable talking in front of the camera is, if you have a tripod or whatever, anything to put your phone just in front of you, face the camera towards you. So like on your phone, put it to front facing so that you can literally see yourself and have a conversation with it. Like, don't even think about what you're talking about. Just have a conversation with your phone and then watch it back. It's exposure therapy. And the more that you do it, the more comfortable you will become in front of the camera, and you'll lose the corporate realtor voice. You'll notice it's literally just you talking. And that's how a lot of videos are going to come out once you do that exercise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, this is good advice, man. I mean, just, you got to do it, man. I think honestly, that's going to unlock all these opportunities, right? Like right now, you're posting about you going on your walks and stuff and your runs. How many people are rooting for you, bro?
Few.
Right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I know when I see that, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go get my workout in now, right? Like, if I looked at that and I was like debating on working out today, and then I saw John do it, I'm like, fuck, John did it. I'm doing it, right? So don't underestimate the value of what you put out there, and how it sometimes inspires and motivates other people. You know what I mean? But man, you got it, man. You got to do it, man, and stop overthinking it. I think that's the
Okay.
big thing. So yeah, show me, man. Put it out there.
All right. Okay.
Okay, what else? What stood out to you guys? Any other question on this list that stood out to you? Which one spoke to you, Patrick? I'll pull these up.
Honestly, all
Is
of
there
them.
any of these questions that
All of them.
Literally all of
spoke
them.
to you? Okay, well, which
Honest. But I think as of right now, it's playing small because it feels safe. It's more so price point. But I already talked to Enrique in regards to how I'm supposed to hit my big audacious goal, and that's at least 1.3 million every single time. But I don't want to, neglect what I've already worked with and start nurturing. So I'm just trying to also, pick up all those trade wins. That way I'm not missing out on anything in regards to referrals. But I think marketing visibility is also another thing. I really need to put myself out there with all my past experience, with all the current ones I currently have as of right now, and getting more reviews from all my previous clients that I've worked with. I haven't been really ambitious enough by, really pushing them to write something about me or their past experience, which I need to work on to create
Okay.
more of a brand and a voice.
Let's talk about those then. What is there anything you think is getting in the way or stopping you, or any reservations you have about going after the bigger price points, or about marketing yourself more, or getting those reviews from past clients? What do you think's getting in the way of that?
I think it's myself. I mean, I have a few leads with higher price points above 1.3 million. It's just more so, okay, well, I've connected with them and they're still looking. But how do you re-engage them to start talking to you again after X amount of months?
Mm-hmm.
That's my hurdles as of right now.
Okay. So that's more,
I guess a follow-up.
that's more the follow-up, right? That's not necessarily, but what do you think's stopping you in here, bro? Like from really attacking those, right? Like in your mindset, right? Not like what you have to do. Right?
Yeah.
What is it about? Is there anything about going after those bigger price points that scares you? Do you not think you're worthy of selling multi-million-dollar homes?
Sometimes.
All right. Well,
I'll be
appreciate
honest,
you
yes.
being honest. Yeah. Why not? Why not?
I think it's because when I'm talking to these people, they're a lot older. So then they resonate with someone who, I don't know, has more so-called like experience, but what do I know that they don't know? I don't know. But I guess
Okay.
it's just something that, and actually just showing my value of how I can help serve them.
This is good. This is good because we're peeling this back a little bit. Chris, what do you got?
I would say my biggest advice to that is confidence. It all comes down to confidence, right? As long as you know your stuff, you could talk to anybody at any price point. I've worked with people that were doing 300,000. My biggest deal was 2.5, and it was the same. Yeah, the people are a little bit different, but as long as you can show them that you know what you're talking about, they'll believe in you. It's all in that confidence. You just have to transfer that confidence to them, and they'll trust you with it.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, right? And that's great advice. Patrick, if you've already, let's say you already sold a $5 million home,
Mhm.
would you feel more confident in talking to other people that are in those price points?
Yeah, if I can show for it, yeah.
Okay. But what would be the difference between the Patrick who hasn't sold a $5 million home and the Patrick who did sell a $5 million home already? Is it the same Patrick?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So there's no difference, right? It's just maybe you had a little bit of, you got that experience under your belt for that one deal, but really what it is, it's going to be more of a confidence. It's going to be more of a mental difference, right? Like it's more of a belief. I believe that I can, right? And what I'm
Mm.
trying to get at is there's no difference in those, right? Like if you want to be a $5 million, someone who sells $5 million homes, like just tell yourself already as of today that you're that guy. You know what I mean? Like, don't wait until you get there to start being that guy, right? Just start acting as that person today. You know what I mean? What would someone who sells higher price point homes do? How do they act? How do they operate? What do they say on the calls? How do they show up in their business, right? These are all things that are in your control. And so let me ask you, so someone that sells higher end homes or bigger price points, how do they run their day, Patrick? What are some adjectives that would describe how they run their business?
Busy.
They're busy,
Focused.
What else? Help them out, guys. Someone who's a top
Confident.
producer, confident.
The value proposition.
They bring value, right? So Patrick, you have all that already, right? Like,
Hey, Patrick, in Arizona, my average sales price was like 600,000 because that's just, that's just the market out there. My biggest sale in Arizona though was 3.25 million. And when I got the lead, I went to meet the guy, put on a sport coat. I never wear a sport coat, but I kind of, in my head, this is what I was expecting. And I get there and the guy was 5 years younger than me. He was wearing a baseball jersey and sweatpants shorts. And this was a vacation home he was buying because he was from Utah. And I found out he had a 26,000 square foot home in Utah. And he was buying a 10,000 square foot home in Arizona because he had family here to come visit and he needed to park some money. But at the end of the day, he was just a regular guy. And that it kind of, you have this picture in your head, of a guy spending, looking at a $3 million vacation home. He's probably, XYZ, he was the most laid back guy I'd ever met, drove his Ferrari down to park it there before we closed. But at the end of the day, the first day I showed up in a sport coat, I was like way overdressed. I went back to my normal, slack, chinos and a golf shirt the rest of the time meeting them. And it was fine. I think, a lot of times, I know I do it. We kind of build up in our head how you're expecting someone to be based on a price point. And then you're worried that you don't live up to that expectations. I think we pre-worry too much about what's going to happen before it actually happens.
Yeah.
So if you want to go after the higher price points, just be yourself. You'll find the right people.
love that. Great freaking advice, man. Great wisdom. David, what do you got, bro?
Well, before my computer dies, let me plug it in. But do you think it's so? You just be yourself. You're saying be yourself, but you think it's bad if you end up molding yourself to your client? You know what I mean? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
If you mirror
I understand
them,
what you're.
no.
Yeah,
I don't
No, it's
do it
good.
on purpose, but it happens. Like, for example, not all of them, but a lot of like the Latino community, some of them are a certain way, and you feel comfortable, you start kind of, being comfortable as long as you're not being disrespectful. And sometimes you're able to mesh with them, right? You're able to kind of like, resonate with them. And then sometimes not. I think you have to feel the person out, right? When you're with that client, right? You got to feel them out and see how they are, and then you can kind of like, match their energy, I should say, right? Is that bad, or you think you be yourself all the time the way you are, no matter what?
Well, I think the answer is, should you mold yourself or mirror the other client? Yeah, you definitely should in a sense, but you shouldn't completely lose who you are at the same time, right?
I'm not saying being fake. I'm just saying,
Match their energy.
Match their energy,
Right.
right? If you have, for example, especially in our area, we have some engineers, right, where they're all data driven. You might need to be focus more on the data, right? So you're kind of meeting them where they're at.
There you go.
If you got someone who's a little more laid back, you got to be a little bit more laid back, but still your version of laid back, right? The David version of laid back.
Right.
when I see some of my old homies from high school, right? Like it's a little different. Hey, what's up, dog? Like all, it's a little bit different,
Right.
But or when I'm talking to like another CEO or something, then I'm gonna go. Everyone has like a spectrum of who they are, right? We
Yeah,
all have
right.
our different hats that we can wear. You just got to find the one that's still you, but then you're also bringing that same energy, right? So
Right.
matching that
Correct.
energy.
Correct. So you're the Enrique CEO at that point in time. To
Yeah.
kind of energy. Right.
Exactly. Exactly. But people can sense when you're being totally fake.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say like fake it, so to say, but lean into some of the things that they're asking you or some of the energy that they're bringing. I'll give you an example. So you guys met the guy, Gabe, the guy that does commercial real estate. He came into our office. He's my son's coach. So he has this other venture where he's in like this private equity fund, and he introduced me to his fund manager. They came to the office on Tuesday, actually. I never met this guy, but this guy used to run like 30 and $50 million private equity firms. And like, he's been around the block, right? And he manages all kinds of money and stuff like that. And I knew he was coming in, and I was expecting this guy in a suit and all kinds of stuff. He was wearing a t-shirt. He was wearing jeans. He had a Patagonia puffer jacket. He's a European dude. And he was so down to earth and super cool. He was a really smart guy. Like, he knows a lot of data and stuff like that. But I just talked to him, man, and like, I was just being myself, you know what I mean? Like, and obviously talking about the subject at hand, but we hit it off, man. Guy's super cool guy, and we might be doing some investments with them in some of their funds. But what I'm trying to say is, you don't have to completely change who you are, right? As long as you're bringing all the great things that you bring to the table, Patrick. I know you're a hard worker. I know you fight for your clients. I know, you're focused. I know when you have clients you work with, you're really going to do everything you can to protect them. Bring all of that to the table, bro. You know what I mean? No matter what price point they are, and that's going to shine. You know what I mean? So a lot of it is just these mental roadblocks that we place on ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So going forward, Patrick, you're the $2 million, $3 million producer, bro. All right.
Yeah.
That's it. We made you that guy now. Now you're him. Now just start doing what those guys do, right? Just start acting as if, right?
Yeah.
I think you'll be fine. Okay. Ooh, let's go. Shri, which one stood out to you, brother? Any of those questions that stood out to you? Let me pull them back up.
Okay, let me see the questions. I think I feel like the last one. What is one uncomfortable move you need to make this quarter to level up?
Ooh,
So
I like that.
I feel sometimes I just get pushed over by my clients. I need to start having more realistic conversations and more uncomfortable conversations to make it more meaningful for my business, is what I'm thinking these days. I should stop beating around the bush so much, just to be blunt with them sometimes. That's what I think I need to, pull up more going forward. I have like a lot of good clients who are in the verge of closing the deals. If I want to take them, push them to the next step, sometimes I have to be, very, very blunt with them. I think that's when I think I can take it to the next level, is what I'm thinking.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is being more of a leader in the transaction.
Yes.
Not being afraid to have those uncomfortable conversations and push
Yes.
them when you need to push them, right?
Yes.
This is great, bro. This is a great freaking topic to cover. Who can offer some advice to Shri on how to do that more, or how to do that more effectively?
I think John kills in that. John is really good in that, I feel.
John tells it like it is, bro. Like he
Yes,
just will tell
he's
you,
really
right?
good in that. I saw that few times, and I should learn so much from him about that.
But John, help him out. How do you channel that, man?
I was looking at my phone. I missed part of it. I was just submitting it offer. Sorry.
So
repeat. I apologize.
So Shri said, let me summarize it for you. So Shri said, the question was, what is one uncomfortable move he needs to make to level up?
Right.
And so he said he needs to be less of like a pushover with some of his clients. He needs to be able to speak up more and like be a little bit more blunt or a little bit more assertive with them and push them forward, right? And he says you do a good job at that. So
you know, I'm good at being blunt and honest around the office. I'm a little less so around clients. I've learned though, you know, I'll let them drive the bus like the first time, maybe 1.5 times, especially when it comes to making offers and stuff. Like this one I put in today, I don't think we're going to get it. I mean, the home was originally listed at 1.9 last fall. They pulled it. It went under contract in 4 days, but then canceled 2 days later. They pulled it off and just put it back on at just under 1.5, 1.48. And 1.9 is a decent comp for it. And I told my guy we're going to have to be probably 1.7 or so to get it, at least, you know, based on what you know we've been looking at. And he's like, oh, I really want to do 1.525. I'm like, okay, we can do that, you know, but once we don't get this one, this is the second one. The other one was a few months ago because he's very specific in what he's looking for and where he's looking. But next time it's going to be, you need to listen to me. And especially if we don't get this one and it goes for the price I'm thinking it's going to, then I can come back to him and say, look, these are the 2 homes we wanted. This is what I said we needed to offer, and that's what they went for. But it's your call. I can't make you offer more. But if you want to buy a house, you're going to have to start listening. You know, but you don't want to say that right off the bat because, you know, all they're thinking is, well, you want me to pay more so you make more money. No, I want you to pay more so you can actually buy the damn house.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, if you really only want to spend 1.5, well, we need to look at 1.2 then, you know, but in Redwood City, there are no single family homes for 1.2, 1.3 unless they're falling apart.
Yeah.
You know, it's yeah, you're being blunt, but at the same time, you don't want to waste their time. You don't want to waste your own time, you know, but more important, you know, I mean, I don't want to put 12 offers in for someone until we finally get one, because eventually they're not going to want to work with you because they think, you know, if you just keep doing what they say and you're not pushing back and showing them the data, they're going to think that you don't know what you're doing and they're going to find another agent.
Yeah.
But it's hard not to be nice to them because you know you want to have the good relationship. You know you want to be able to not be confrontational, but sometimes you have to.
It has to be in a very subtle way. It's not like you are like being blunt, and it has to be being blunt by not being blunt.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you got?
So I think what I'm going to say is a mix of what Enrique and John said. I think a way to make it easier and not convince yourself like, oh, I'm being blunt or maybe I'm being rude about it is you have to tell yourself that it's for the betterment of your client. So if you know something that's going to help them out, if you're straightforward with it and you get them to understand like, hey, I'm only telling you this because it's of value and it's to help you out, they'll probably appreciate it more and start listening to you more when you have advice for the next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So what he's saying is like, you need to believe that you are a really good real estate agent and that is looking out for their best interests. You need to have, that's what you call conviction, right? You need to have conviction in your heart that, hey, I'm trying to do the best for my client. Therefore, if I have to be if I have to push or I have to be a little bit blunt, it's because I know it's going to help them, right? And sometimes you have to explain that to your client. And so I'll give you an example, a couple tactics you can use. Number one is you can ask for permission to give them your opinion or advice, right? So let's say a client is not listening to you. They want to put their offer. Let's use John's scenario. They want to, you're telling them to put an offer at 1.7 and he's saying he wants to offer 1.5, right? What's your client's name, John?
Kent.
Kent. Okay, so here's what I would say. I would say, hey, Kent, I totally hear that you want to put an offer for 1.5, even though we're looking at the data and the data shows 1.7. Can I ask you a question? Or can I give you some advice, based off what I've seen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So here's the thing, Kent. The last thing I want to do is waste your time and shoot these offers where we have no chance of getting the home, right? Because then after a while, you're not going to trust in my abilities, right? So I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't honest with you and told you where I think you need to be based off the data and based off my conversations with the agent. I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't honest with you. I don't think I'm helping you out the best way I can. So what I would do if I were you is I would do A, B, and C. I would submit your offer at this price, right? Now, let me ask you, do you really like this home?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Now, if you didn't get the offer, I understand your strategy. You're trying to see if you can get a deal. But if you missed out on it and you really liked it and that home was now taken away, would you be upset about that?
Probably.
Okay. So here's what I recommend. Why don't we go ahead and just give them a really good offer? Let's shoot our shot. Because if you really like this home, we might as well shoot our shot and get this home so that you can now start building some equity. But if you don't like it, and this is where I do a takeaway. If you don't really like this home, and you're just trying to just see if you could just get a deal on it, maybe this isn't the right home. Why don't we go find the one that you really like? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna stop there, right? So it would be something along the lines of that dialogue, right? Where you ask for permission to be honest, or you ask for, hey, is it okay if I give you some advice? Because what you do is if they say yes, now you can be blunt, right?
Yeah, that's good.
And it sets the stage for like, okay, it's my turn to now tell you what you need to hear. And then always talk in terms of like, you don't ever want to point the finger at them, point it back to you. Like, I wouldn't be doing my job, right, if I didn't tell you this, right? Or the reason you hired me is because you want me to look out for your interest. And this is me now looking out for your interest, right?
Yeah.
And so, but you can't be afraid, man. You can't be afraid to shoot your shot, because the worst thing that'll happen is, number one, they're going to respect you for it. But number two, if they decide to walk away, that client may not have been that realistic anyways, and they're going to just waste a bunch of time, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
maybe like John said, you let them drive the bus on the first one. But then on the second time around, like, I'm not letting them drive the bus. Like,
Yeah.
So maybe we can role play that, right? Shri, let's role play that real quick. I want you to ask me, let's say I don't want to come up in price, right? I'm stuck on, hey, I want to offer a certain price. How would you ask me for permission to give me advice?
Okay. Enrique, I completely understand you want to offer only, around 1.5. Is that correct?
Yeah. I want to see if we can get a deal, like, I'd rather offer less and see what they say.
Okay. Totally understand. I respect that. Can I advise you something on this?
Yeah. What do you got?
Because why I'm doing this is like, I want to work on your best interest, and I want to get you this property. I just want to ask you, do you love this property?
Yeah, I like it. It's a great home. I like the remodel that they did, and it's in the good school district. So
if we were to lose this property, would it upset you, or you're fine with that?
no, my wife really likes it. So yeah, I think she's gonna be upset if
And I showed you the data that in last 6 months in this neighborhood, we didn't find such good property what your wife is liking. And why do you want to take a chance on this? Let me get you a very good deal. For that, you should listen to me. Take my advice and let's shoot our best shot.
Okay, so what do you have in mind?
So see, based on the comps, I know you're saying 1.8, 1.9 is very high. How about we start from 1.75 and give our best shot? Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, you think we'll have a good shot?
Yeah, if you start at 1.75, I can show my negotiation skills and I can do my best to get it till there at least. Because
Okay.
if we are giving 1.5, that's not even a starting point to start the negotiation.
Got it. Okay. All right, let's stop right there. Okay, so I know we're just role playing, right? But what I like what you did, right, is you asked me, do you really love this home, right? Are you going to be upset if you lose it, right? Why do you love this home, right? Stuff like that. So you need to always find what the motivation was in the first place. Why did you guys pick this home in the first place? The more information you can get from them, then you can use that information to now coach them and push them forward, right? So if you know they really like it, if you know it's in the school district, if you know it's remodeled, if you know there's no other homes for sale, and you have all this ammunition, use that back on them, right?
Okay.
And that's how you'll be able to push them forward. But I like it, man. It's just practice, right? Practicing that and being a leader, right?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, we're coming up. We got like 4 more minutes, guys. David, was there one of the questions that stood out to you, bro, on that list? I know you came in a little bit after. Is there any question that let me pull it
The
up real
last,
quick.
I would say the last one. The last
one too?
Yeah, definitely. Just making a change. I think marketing myself more and make myself uncomfortable and making overall change in my business. I have to do that, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So what does that look like, man? So what's one uncomfortable move that you would need to make that's going to help you level up?
Listen to people that are telling me, hey, there's an opportunity. Why don't you give us an opportunity to work with you, and listen.
Okay. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And I think that's honestly, if it comes to fruition, I think it's going to be probably the best move for me to really, really change my business and my future moving forward, man. Honestly.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, there's only one way to really find out, right? If an opportunity is good for you is to go check it out and try it, right? So, you know, so we could just disclose, right? We're trying to, so David, he helps us on the lending side, right? He's part of the lending team. He's part of our downline at EXP. But David's been contemplating with just fully joining the PRG team on the real estate side and not just Alliance, right? And so I think he's been seeing more and more of some of the opportunities that are coming in front of his way. Yeah. But he's used to doing it a certain way before, right? So for him, it's kind of a change of like running his business in a different way. But I think you're going to get a lot out of it, man. And then, like I said, there's only one way to find out.
And I'm not going to chew up time. We have a little bit.
What did you notice though, with some of the opportunities you've seen?
I've been a mercenary by myself. I mean, I'm just looking at the sheer volume of leads that you guys are getting. And they're mixed, but there are opportunities there. The training, the structure is stuff that I don't really have, and I've really had consistency and just I need that. I think so. That's what's really kind of drawing me in more, basically. Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, I think it's a good move. I know we're going to talk after this, and kind of go into some of those details, but you've already shown that you're valuable and you're an asset to the team on the lending side. And I think if you immerse yourself on the real estate side as well, I think it's just going to be a winning combination. So yeah, it's exciting, man. Yeah, let's have that meeting. All right, guys. Well, we're coming up on time. I hope you guys got some value out of this. Today was a little bit different, right? I didn't want to just kind of be the only one talking and just kind of talking on a subject. As we can see, there are definitely some similarities, right? And things that we want to work on, but then we all have our own individual roadblocks that are in our way, right? And I want to commend you guys for just jumping on the training today and being able to speak and be honest about some of the things that are getting in your way, because the only way to like make changes and make moves is to be honest about what's stopping you, right? And unpack why that's stopping you. So I'm excited to see what you guys do with some of this info. Hopefully it inspires you to go take some action. And then if there's any help you guys need from me on a one-on-one basis, definitely hit me up. And we'll make it happen, guys. Anything else before we wrap up?